Vitamin M and for Malaysia, yeah? So they are going to perform a few songs for you tonight, throughout the night. And the first song for tonight is Dirgahayu. It is our campaign song that will be heard for the very first time here. So you ladies and gentlemen, will be the first to hear Dirgahayu, our official campaigning song. And this song is inspired by our Rukun Negara.
那今天呢，我们非常高兴可以欢迎我们的行动党的Vitamin M 合唱团一个乐队啊，他们呢将会在今天呈现我们的选举的新歌首播。那今天出席这个晚宴的朋友们呢，你们非常幸运，因为你们将会是第一个听到这一首新歌的，好吗？那我们接下来就有请我们的 Vitamin M， 有请他们要演唱歌曲 Dirgahayu， 掌声。
Hi guys.
Hello.
All right. So we are Vitamin M. I'm Luis.
I'm Joanna.
I'm Max.
And we are Vitamin M. Okay, so the first song that we're gonna sing tonight is Dirgahayu. And you guys will be the first in this fundraising dinner to hear this song. Okay, dipersilakan Dirgahayu. If you know, you can sing along, ah.
Thank you very much, Vitamin M. Now, you heard that song. You are the first people to hear the premiere of that song. And you know what? You will be hearing for the first time as well. You people will be the first to hear our candidate announcement. You will be the first people here to hear who will be our Selangor MP candidates. So make sure you stay till the very end. You don't want to miss this. Am I right? Yes. Okay, now we can go on to our first speaker of the night. We would like to welcome no other than Saudara Rajiv Rishakaran, who is the current Adun of Bukit Gasing.
好，那听过了这一首新歌首播之后呢，那我们今天晚上呢还会有很多重大的消息将要宣布，那大家请留守到最后啊，越夜越精彩。那接下来呢，我们有请我们的 Bukit Gasing 州议员 YB Rajiv 致辞，有请。
Hi. Good evening, everyone. I know you just got your food. I hope you started eating. But good evening, everyone. It's so good. It's so good to see all of you here today. It's so good to see all of you coming out every time we have a fundraising dinner. But now we are back at crunch time, and it's especially good to see you all again as we head into the elections in the next few weeks. It has been a good 15 years since things changed in Malaysia. 15 years ago, we never imagined that the 2008 12th general elections could lead to such a result, could lead to Selangor from only 2 DAP members in the whole Selangor Dun to come to a part where the BN government can fall in Selangor. In 2008, I remember helping Hannah Yeoh campaign in Subang Jaya. At that time, it was my first ever election campaign volunteering. We had been reading all the blogs. You know those days? How many of you were there remembering that we read all the blogs about Khairi and his 4th floor antics and how Mahathir used to goreng him? That sparked a lot of anger. The internet helped and the blogs helped spark all that anger. And in 2008, I, for the first time in my life, woke up at 5:30 in the morning to follow Hannah Yeoh to the market, to follow to the Pasar Malam, to canvass for votes in the first ever hope that Subang Jaya would change from MCA to DAP, which never happened before. And all across Selangor and Malaysia, many people put in effort, were volunteers, hanging flags, hanging banners, just wanting to do something, not hoping, not expecting that government can change, maybe a strong opposition. But 8 March 2008, we had the change. I was watching the news with my friends from midnight to 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. The results don't want to come out. What was happening? And that was a change that there's no turning back. And ever since then, a Pakatan government formed in Selangor, Penang, Kedah, Perak, and Kelantan led the way forward to give us the hope that the federal government can change. And I was so happy to be part of the government. I was a councillor for 4 years, from 2009 until 2013. It was our first ever term to try to do something different. And the biggest thing that impacted me was that we are changing things from governing to benefit cronies to governing to benefit rakyat. For once, will the decision be made as to benefit my friends, or will the decision be made to benefit myself or my father or my mother or my brother or my company or my friends? No, we make decisions, the best that we think at that time for the rakyat. And I remember one of the things that we did to ensure good governance was open tender. And as a councillor in 2009, when we started this, We didn't want people to cheat on the tender anymore. We watched how they do the open tender. Because we declared, must do open tender. No more negotiated tender. That one easy. Make the principal, the officers jalan open tender, and then we watch the open tender. Inside the tender box, the tender document is empty. Price not filled up yet. Then we know. Some contractors still got cable with some officers. After the tender close, only fill in the price. Cannot. We want to make sure open tender really works. We want to make sure that good governance really gets practiced in Selangor. What we do? We make sure that 3 different people, randomly we select the name, will open the box, the tender box at 12 o'clock to ensure no one can change price anymore. And that action, ladies and gentlemen, that action maybe seem like a small administrative decision, but huge impact because it suddenly brought the prices down. When we used to, whatever we used to pay to repair drains, to install new playground equipment, to build a new community hall, to upgrade a pasar, our prices dropped 20 to 25%. When real contractors can put in the real bid and a genuine price can win, not a rigged open tender, that, ladies and gentlemen, was the good governance that I painstakingly opened 60 over tender documents to make sure that no one can cheat and temper the price and that real good governance is done. When we fast forward to 2013, can we take this good governance to Putrajaya? I think a lot of you were around back then. We were excited. I was a first-time candidate. I spoke at the Kelana Jaya Stadium on the eve of the election. We were all very, very excited. Vuvuzelas were blowing away. We wanted to change Putrajaya. We came close. If you remember, we won, we beat Barisan on the popular vote. But we fell short on the seats because gerrymandering and malapportionment. Our seats like Damansara, humongous, few 100,000 people. Tanjong Karang, where Barisan's No Omar continues to win, is 4 times smaller. So we didn't make it in 2013. But you didn't give up, I didn't give up, we persevered. We broke up with PAS, and everyone said how to win lah. PAS no longer supporting us. How to win lah. Can get the Malay support to form federal government now that PAS not with us. A lot of people lost hope, if you remember 2016, 2017. But 2018, we still banded together. And you know what? The win came. The support from the general public that Najib has crossed the line. 1 step too far. And Tony Pua was a huge influencer in this, exposing and explaining in a language that all of us found easy to understand what was happening with 1MDB. And 2018, we made history. The federal government changed. I know the Sheraton move happened after that. A lot of us have been very disappointed that Azmin and gang betrayed us. Extremely disappointed. For years, they fought together with us, and then they betrayed us. But today, we stand here. 1 year ago, people said how to win, how to come back and win again. Everyone give up what was the point of voting. But you know what? We are now at the junction of the next elections. And I'm very happy that we have a huge crowd, not just here in PJ tonight, but in every dinner that we've been having for the last few months. We can bounce back. We can rise up because we still believe in the same things we did back in 2018, didn't we? 4 years ago, we wanted good governance, we wanted Putrajaya to change, and we managed to do it. And the biggest thing that came out of it, even though they stole it back from us in the Sheraton move, but the biggest thing that all your hard work and your donations did is that when we changed the government, a Prime Minister, Najib Razak, was arrested, charged in court. And I know you wanted him to go to jail the next day, right? But he went through the whole legal process. We gave him the due process. After one appeal, after another appeal, after another appeal, it all finally finished. And finally today, as we go to the next elections, Malaysia has a wonderful record of having jailed a former Prime Minister for very, very grand corruption. Thank you, everyone. And you know something? I don't think we could have done that if you guys didn't join us in that battle. Whenever we did these fundraising dinners, there are big businessmen who contribute. And I look around, I can see some of that very big businessmen. I know you are capable enough to bankroll the whole election campaign for Damansara. I know you are rich enough to bankroll the whole Selangor campaign. But it's not one or two people that are bankrolling this campaign. It is hundreds of people across this hall, this open car park space, that you are contributing your hard-earned money to say that I believe in change. I am supporting this change. I am going to be part of this change. And I am so proud of you for still keeping that fighting spirit. You motivate us. You motivate each other. Thank you so much. Give yourself a round of applause. As we head into November 19, we can do it. We are not far from winning. The country is very undecided. Are they happy with barisan? No. They may have won in Malacca and Johor state elections, but they didn't even get 50% of the popular vote. And these were the states where Johor and Malacca, barisan used to win big all these last 30 years. But they still didn't even get their 50% vote. They still didn't get that. They just won because everyone was tired and they didn't come out. But we shall overcome tiredness. This round, we have to overcome tiredness, and I see that we are overcoming tiredness because 1 year ago, we wouldn't get 200 tables sold for a fundraising dinner, but today, we can do this here in Damansara. We have done it 400 tables in Puchong recently. We have done it in Ampang, in Bangi, and all over the country. This is happening. We can rise again. You can be part of it. As we head to the next 5 years, this country needs to be run correctly. This country needs ministers who will make decisions in the best interest of the country. This country needs ministers who will make decisions to benefit the rakyat. Things like how we halve the price of internet was done to benefit the rakyat and not let cronies or not let one or two companies make humongous profits. And that kind of effort needs to keep going for people to see the benefit. We were the first ones to get moving on public transport, where we started the 100 ringgit pass, making what used to be a 10 ringgit MRT change to LRT ride to go to work. Oh, is it time's up, is it? We were the first, and we want to bring these rakyat-centric things back. There will be a good tawaran, harapan, that is going to come very soon on November 2nd.
Malaysiakini. And now I would like to invite on stage Saudari Lim Yiwei, who is the adun of Kampung Tunku.
接下来我们有请我们的冈部都顾州议员 YB 林怡薇上台致辞，有请。
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Salam harapan. Malay Vanakkam to any of our Eastern Malaysian friends here. Kopi Sanangan, nama berita taja wansang hao. How's everyone feeling tonight? Good, I'm happy to hear that. All right, I don't have a lot to say, but I have a few singular messages. The first one is that your votes matter. Your votes matter so much. And if there's any doubt, you feel that your votes were wasted during the Sheraton move, I will tell you this. It is because of your votes on the 9th of May 2018. Najib is now in jail. And with the anti-hopping law, we can keep away MPs that are not trustworthy, MPs who like to jump sites, MPs who have no principles from jumping. That is also a good thing to make your votes matter more. Okay? It is because of your votes, Najib went to jail. Like my Sifu said in Chinese, 你的一票，Najib 跑不掉，对吗？ Okay. But we have a big challenge here tonight. Tonight we have, I think 200 plus tables, which means about 2,000 people. 2,000 people that I really need to ask you all to rely on you all to carry a message outside because of the lowering of the voting age from 21 to 18 and automatic voter registration. A lot of people don't know that they are eligible to vote. So for example, in Johor, my team was the Kopitiam team because we like to walk around and chit-chat to people. And a lot of young people, or maybe even 30-something, 40-something, 70-year-olds will say, hey, I support you, but I haven't registered to vote. And we say, no, you are already in the electoral roll. We will help you check. Same happens to those who are between 18 to 21. They can vote. And if you're not sure where you are voting, our DAP Damansara, our youth wing, we have set up a counter out there. So if you need help, let them know. That's the first thing. We need to go out and tell those 18 above can come out and vote. And you don't vote just in Damansara because Damansara is just one seat. We have to vote in places like Pasir Salak. We have to vote in places like Baling. We have to vote in places like Arau. Kick all these people out. Kick Tajuddin out. Kick Aziz Baling out. Kick Syahidan Kasim out. And beat UMNO Barisan Nasional. The second thing I want to leave you with is that I think always have hope. Always have hope. And we thank you all so much for coming out to support us tonight. But we also have another mission. So tonight your dinner is not free lah, huh? We really need polling agents and counting agents. Because of the number of voters has increased by so much, Damansara, we almost have 300,000 voters as the total. So actually, Saudara Tony Pua can become the MB of Perlis already. But there will be a lot more voting stations, a lot more saluran, and a lot more people lining up to vote. So I need to ask a favor from you tonight that you search around your community, your friends, your family, those who are on wheelchair, those who are on tongkat. We lend a helping hand to them and make sure everyone comes to the voting station. Can or not? Boleh ke tidak? 可以吗? Okay, so that's all from me tonight. Thank you so much for your support and have a good night. Can we hear one more last chant? I will say Pakatan and you say Harapan, okay? Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Pakatan! 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 Kita! 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 Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Saudari Lim Yi Wei.
感谢 YB 林怡薇的支持。
Now I hope you're enjoying dinner, and while you eat dinner, we have another speaker coming up, and she is Saudari Jamalia Jamaluddin, the Adun of Bandar Utama.
那接下来，让我们有请万达郑州议员，也是我们的 Jamalia 同志上台致辞。有请 Jamalia 同志。
Testing.
Hello. Macam tak nak bagi saya bercakap pula. Assalamualaikum, selamat petang, merakan tajam, wanshang hao. Firstly, I would like to thank everyone for being here. Today we've got more than 200 tables. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Give yourself a round of applause. Today I am here hoping not just as a state assembly person for Bandar Utama, but more as a Malaysian. As a young people in Malaysia, I would like to be given opportunity to say something about this country. I'm very sure that recently, I believe all of us here, we actually follow current issues. All of us here actually concerned about things that happen within our country. So therefore, I'm very sure you have watched some of the video clips of Zahid Hamidi in MSC Assembly. Actually, at Subang Jaya also, I was like talking about that clip where Zahid Hamidi say, kalau saya masuk penjara, tuan-tuan puan-puan, saudara-saudariku yang di dalam Barisan Nasional, bukan saya seorang. Tomat, selepas itu anda. Dan selepas itu jangan lupa Vicky anda juga. Kita tak akan tinggalkan Wikasyom. Kita semua akan masuk penjara sekaligus. Clever. I'm not sure if he's wishing or he's worried about it lah. But here's my question. If you never done anything, if you never have any corruption cases, why will you be warning your Barisan Nasional leaders that if Pakatan Harapan win, you all will go to jail? Why? 此地无银三百两啊，同志们！你没有做过这么你会讲，你没有做过这么你很怕。I cannot understand. Kalau tak pernah buat, kenapa kita nak takut? Kalau tak pernah curang, tak payahlah takut kat isteri. Kalau tak pernah curi, jangan takut kat polis. So that is the reason why, the real reason why Barisan Nasional need to win this election. That is also the reason why they push for this election regardless what is happening to the nation, regardless what is happening to the people. Walaupun MET, the agency daripada Kerajaan Persekutuan, they already say that monsoon season is coming. Barisan Nasional leaders say, it is okay. We prepared the boat for people to go and vote. so that our leaders will not go to jail. Saya bukan nak tipu kat sini. Cuma saya nak saudara-saudari bayangkan. I just want you to think about it. Just close your eyes and think about it. Have you ever hear, a prominent leader from Barisan Nasional stand out on the stage and say that kita nak pemimpin yang bersih. Kita nak pemimpin yang tak korup. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever heard Zahid Hamidi stand on stage and say that we want transparency? We want a government that is not corrupt. We want a government that is truthful to the people, that will answer the people question. Have you ever seen that? If you ever seen that, please send me a video clip. So actually I can see that they actually say that. But in reality, you never see any prominent leader from Barisan Nasional saying that they want a transparent government, saying that they want the least corrupted government, or saying that they want to be truthful to people. What they say recently, baru beberapa hari lepas, 1 to 2 days ago, Ismail Sabri said, debat bukan budaya kita. We should not be having a debate session because it is not our culture in Malaysia. I find it very funny and I feel very pity for our primary school students and secondary school students because all the time that they spend debating in the debating club, it turns out it's not our culture to debate about the future of this country. Can you imagine? Habis tu saya nak tanya UMNO, habis tu apa budaya UMNO ni sebenarnya? Apa budaya UMNO? Budaya UMNO? Curi, rasuah, peniaga, perompak. Hari itu semalam baru saya pergi Melaka. Yesterday I was at Melaka and everybody shouted. I was like asking, what's the culture of UMNO? And everybody said, rasuah. Wow, that is not me saying, That is the people saying. So why? Why we need to vote? I think it's very obvious. And I actually feel that we already reached a stage that we don't ask that kind of question anymore. Why we want to ask why we need to vote? I feel that it's kind of ridiculous for us to ask about why we need to vote. The answer is simple. Because the nation hope, the nation future is in our hand. And sometimes I don't feel that we actually see this, but let me just clarify. Voting, my dear friends, voting is not a choice. Voting is not a choice. So some ask voting is not a choice. Right? But I feel that we need to acknowledge that sometimes there are certain things that is too big for it to be a choice. That is too important for it to be a choice. Our nation fate is too important for you to think that it is a choice. It's no choice. Alright. Orang cakap between Pepsi dan Cola pun ada perbezaan. Apatah lagi beza Barisan Nasional dengan Pakatan Harapan. Beli benda pun hari itu I nampak ada orang cakap pun perlukan kualiti. How can you elect a government that scared they will be caught if there is corruption cases? Saya menyambut kedatangan Saudara Gobing Sim, pengerusi DAP Selangor. Sila berikan tepukan. Dan juga saya nampak bersama isterinya dan juga YB Insehan, Adun Kinara dan juga Esko Selangor. Saudara Gobing ada di sini untuk menyaksikan perkara yang saya nak bangkitkan. It's just one last thing that I want to talk about is that sometimes it is not a choice in life. This is our nation. I remember people keep saying that, politicians are dirty, politicians are corrupted. Therefore, I don't hope that my children get involved with politics. Then, who's supposed to be involved in politics? All the politicians that you say that they are corrupted, you are saying that the politicians are taking the money. All these politicians comes from Malaysian home, Malaysian family, Malaysian businesses association, NGOs. It comes from Malaysian. And who elect all these politicians? Our Malaysian ourselves. Kita yang menjadi pengundi untuk menjayakan mereka sebagai ahli politik. So I know sometimes we think politician is shitty, but if we don't want to have a selfish politician, we need to ensure that we ourselves are not selfish citizens. Today I'm talking as a Malaysian. So therefore I hope today we look beyond those. Definitely we need to vote. But what we need to do more than that is that we need to ensure the election is fair. We need more volunteers. We need more pacha. We need you to tell your friends and family, to tell your loved ones, to tell abang ke, isteri ke, kakak ke, tak kisah siapa. We need you to tell them that it's very important for you not only to come out vote, for you to come out to help, because each of us, not only politicians, but each of us hold this responsibility to ensure that the nation can be safe, to ensure that we will have a future for Malaysia. Therefore, lastly, I would just like to wish everyone, a very happy dinner tonight. I am sure there will be more interesting speakers to be on the stage and to be with us. And later, there might be a very big announcement coming soon. As per say that, mungkin kita DAP akan umumkan calon pada malam ini. Tapi apa yang pasti, tak kira saudara Rajiv, saudari Iwe dan daripada saya sendiri, saya rasa mengundi bukan satu pilihan. Acknowledge that voting is not a choice because it is something too big for us to be ignorant at. Jadi saya harap semua akan keluar mengundi, dan bukan sahaja mengundi, kita akan jadi sukarelawan, kita akan jadi pacha untuk pastikan keadilan dalam pengundian. Boleh ke tak? Boleh ke tak? Boleh ke tak? Lawan tetap! Lawan tetap! Lawan sampai! Lawan sampai! Sekian, terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Saudari Jamalia Jamaluddin.
非常感谢我们万达郑州义，也是我们加玛利亚同志的支持。
Now, before we go on to the next speaker, I would like to invite our volunteers to come up on stage to show all of us what is in store at the merchandise table today.
那现在我在这里呢，要做一些小小的宣传。那我们有请我们今晚的工作人员前来。
Okay, so we first have the painting, the famous painting by Saudara Tony Phua, the Lanka Sheraton painting.
在这里呢，我们的工作人员陆陆续续手上呢都拿着一些我们今天有出售的一些作品。首先，大家看到的就是我们的喜来登圣变的画作。
Okay, so we have this in 4 variations today. We have the rolled ones. The rolled one is not on the stage at the moment, but we also have the rolled ones are going for 488 ringgit.
我们首先呢会有一个价格488令吉的是卷纸的这个画作，那目前应该是还没有带上台。
Okay, and then we have the stretched one, which is this one, going for 588 ringgit.
那接下来呢，我们在这边台上的这一个画作呢，我们出售价值588令吉。
All right, and then we also have the framed one, which is going for 888 ringgit. Parade it around. Yeah.
那接下来我们工作人员手上所拿着的这一个是有一个框架，有一个相框所框住的，这一个价值888令吉。
And not the last but not least, the huge one, which is going for 2,808.
下来这一幅今天晚上还不算最大幅啊，只是今天晚上在台上比较大幅的啊。这一幅画呢，价值2888令吉。来，工作人员转一圈给大家看。
That number very nice. Fat. So make sure you get your hands on the fat one. Okay, Now we have books.
接下来呢，我们会有介绍这一本我们杨美莹同志所编辑的写的这一份书。今天我们有卖2语言，一个是华语的《未尽之夜》，英语版的《The Unfinished Business》。
So Rahim here, Saudara Rahim is holding the hardcover of Saudari Yobiyin's The Unfinished Business. The paperback is going for 50 ringgit and the hardcover is going for 80 ringgit.
那他们这一本书呢会有2个版本。那我们的皮的封面的呢价值50令吉。那这个是还有一个是硬版的啊。那大家如果有兴趣购买的话，这硬版的那个书的封面是价值80令吉。那有兴趣的朋友可以到我们的入口处的那个小贩卖部那里询问详情和购买。
And also we have a Malaysian artist visual biography on Lim Kin Siang. Now this is by Tony Phua, Saudara Tony Phua. It is a visual biography on Saudara Lim Kin Siang. Paperback is going for 80 ringgit and the hardcover is going for 80 ringgit.
那现在呢，这一本我们现在目前也是有售卖这一本《The Visual Biography of Lim Kin Siang》这一本书呢，也是有在我们的贩卖部出售的。
So ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to purchase any of these merchandises, feel free to go right in front of the entrance where the merchandise table is.
那有兴趣购买的朋友，可以在入口处那个小贩卖部呢，找我们的工作人员购买。那这一些所卖到的这些价钱呢，这些钱呢，我们都会进入行动党的筹款当中。
Thank you very much, kawan-kawan sekalian.
感谢我们的工作人员。
Now, just a little reminder, if you didn't know, we are live on Facebook. So if you have friends, family who are not able to come today and would like to watch what is going on tonight, the speeches, they can watch us live on Facebook, any of the speakers' Facebook pages, DAP Malaysia and DAP Selangor.
那在这里呢，我们也是想要告诉大家，那些今天可能你有朋友们没办法出席的呢，我们也有做我们的脸书直播。那你们可以告诉你们朋友们，可以去这个 DAP Selangor 你的脸书直播看今天晚上的这个晚宴哦。
So make sure you go to those Facebook pages now, look for the live video, like and share our live video.
好，那请大家也要在我们的脸书上多多分享，多多留言啊。
Okay, I've heard enough of the both of us talking, and would like to hear the next person, the next speaker talk.
好，那接下来呢？我们相信大家我们也说太多话了。那大家还是希望听听我们的我们很多的今晚的同事呢，要来上台致辞，对吗？
So next we have Saudara Sharizan Johan, who is the political secretary to Saudara Lim Kin Siang.
好，接下来呢，让我们有请我们的小日战同志上台致辞。那小日战同志呢，也是我们的林吉祥同志的政治秘书，有请。
Apa khabar Damansara? Vanakkam, Tacha Wansang Hao. That's all I know. First of all, thank you so much everyone here for coming here tonight. I spoke to Saudara Tony Phua and I told him, this is one of the few fundraising dinners where you give the ceramah, you can do it in English. The rest, I do it in Bahasa Melayu. I would like to try to give the ceramah in English because actually my BM is better, but I'll try lah. Ladies and gentlemen, you will hear and you have heard the reason why we fight Barisan Nasional and Perikatan Nasional. We know why we fight them, correct or not? We know. We don't need to tell you anymore, although sometimes we need reminders lah. But we know why we fight Barisan Nasional and Perikatan Nasional. But I'd like to put another spin on it. I want all of us to imagine. Imagine, if you want to close your eyes, you can. But imagine this. 19th of November, polling day. Everyone comes out. We see long lines all over the country, from the kampung to the city, from Perlis to JB. Long lines, everyone going out to cast their votes. And then, when the polling stops, ends, slowly, we hear the results come in. At first, it's results in the smaller places. Maybe in Sarawak, in Sabah. And then later on, we get to the bigger places. Your Damansara, your Bangi, all the other places. And one by one, we hear the news that PH Pakatan Harapan candidates have won their seats. Slowly but surely, we know victory is within reach. And then at the time, once we reach that magic number of 112, Astro Awani, saya dengan ini boleh mengumumkan bahawa Pakatan Harapan telah memenangi Kerajaan Persekutuan. Kita akan ada seorang Perdana Menteri yang baru. Can you imagine? You are sitting in your sofas, rapt attention, looking at the TV screen or the photo or things like that. 112. And then when that magic number is reached, you shout, Pakatan! 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 Even in your living room, your sons and daughters may be sleeping. Your wife may be sleeping. Your husband may be sleeping. But you shout because you know we have made it. The next day, ladies and gentlemen, you see the sky so blue. That day not raining lah. So blue. And then you go to Putrajaya. You see a new dawn over Putrajaya. Putrajaya suddenly looks so much nicer. Because you know the people in Putrajaya are going to be people that take care of your well-being. Correct or not? Is this just a dream, ladies and gentlemen? Is this just a dream? No, because we have done it before. We have done it before and we can do it again. Correct or not, ladies and gentlemen? Betul tak, saudara-saudari? Kita pernah lakukan, kita akan lakukannya sekali lagi. But to do this, Pakatan Harapan cannot do it alone. Pakatan Harapan needs your help. Each and every one of you here, all over Malaysia, all over the world, we need your help. We need to make this dream a reality again. It is not enough that you go for fundraising dinners. It is not enough that you go and do your duty as a citizen by casting your vote. No! You need to tell your family members, your friends, to say that come out to vote, change this government, can or not? So please, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kita ada misi yang besar. Kita ada misi yang suci. Misi untuk memastikan bahawa kerajaan di Putrajaya adalah satu kerajaan yang akan mementingkan rakyat dan bukannya mereka sendiri. So I beg you, I implore you, please help us. Please, let us strive, let us seek, and let us find that victory that one day we will have a better Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you, Saudara Syarizan Johan. That was a very energetic speech there.
非常感谢我们的Syarizan同志的致辞。
Next up, we have Saudara Ganapati Rao Viraman, who is the Adun of Kota Kemuning and also the Selangor State Exco for Welfare and Estates.
接下来呢，让我们有请我们的Ganapati Rao同志，他也是我们的雪州行政议员，有请。
大家晚上好。Waalaikum. Saya Ganapati Rao Viraman. Kalau mungkin anda tak kenal, saya lah Adun Penggal pertama daripada Kota Alam Shah, Kelang. Lepas tu saya daripada Kota Kemuning. Kota Kemuning mungkin orang ingat itu golf saja. Sebenarnya Taman Seri Muda dalam kawasan saya. Siapa kenal Taman Seri Muda? Isu banjir siapa kenal? Kenal? Saya dituduh sebab saya bising dengan seorang JPS officer. Adakah salah saya bising? Saya bising far before than that. Before the flood happened. What I said? Where is your planning? Why the work progress is so slow? When I keep asking why there is no ending to the drainage side, no answer. Where is the pump? No answer. When they're going to do? No answer. You know something or not? The JPS office is same floor with me. I want to see the JPS Pengarah 1 year with the real letter. We are sharing the same toilet, but can't see him. That's the reason I shout. I have no choice. But people call me Tak for that. Are you agree with that or not? Kalau seorang adun atau seorang esko tak boleh bersuara, tak boleh minta bersama berjumpa dengan JPS, tak boleh selesaikan masalah kawasan, apa kerja lagi saya nak buat? That's the things I asked. Is it wrong for me to ask? That's the way. Kalau tidak, saya rasa I'm not executing my responsibility for my voters. Am I right or not? That's the things I did. Tapi bagaimanapun, we saw now, after massive flood in Taman Seri Muda, I want to thank you to the fellow, all the Malaysian and Selangor in here, especially Damansara people, for the contribution that I never seen. So much of contribution that people come, I can't evaluate how much contribution people individually, with the Persatuan, NGOs, so many of you. Thank you for that. Ya, itu adalah satu sumbangan yang sangat besar. But finally we realize we have to jaga kita. If we don't government of the day, they have failed to take care of the Malaysians. They don't care. I saw hundreds of trucks waiting in the Kasas Highway. First day 17, 18, 19, 20 only they want to come down. They're waiting for instruction. First day only 2 boats from Bomba. Natma come with the 2 boats. But I need 9,000 households to be evacuated. We need at least 100 of boats. 9,000 houses means how many thousand people are staying there? Can you imagine or not? Bukit Lancong, I got 1,700 households submerged. Kampung Bukit Lancong. I got Kampung Baru Icom, 4,000 houses. Kalau ini semua why saya kata di sini, sebab apa kita perlu tahu bagaimana apabila kerajaan kita gagal untuk menjaga rakyat. When there is a corruption is rampant, when the abuse power is rampant, they just don't care. Kalau sebagai saya maupun Gobind Singh maupun Tony Pua maupun Yobian, if the country is run by the correct people, right people, we want to look after our own job. Nobody interested to be a politician entire life fighting and fighting and fighting. Kalau sesuatu negara itu dijajah dengan baik, dengan rule of law, equality, fairness, integrity, I believe strongly you're not going to buy a table and sitting here. Am I right or not? Am I right or not? Kalau kita negara ini dijajah oleh orang baik dan dijajah dengan integrity, kita semua dijaga dengan sama rata, we no need to care. But today we realize, not only now today, we realize so long after 60 years or so, UMNO and Barisan Nasional don't want to change. Mereka malahan boleh buat kapal kosong, boleh bawa sultan lagi untuk launching, tapi kapal masih lagi bangkai kosong. Kalau ini mereka boleh buat, bayangkan beberapa bulan yang lalu Ismail Sabri melancarkan, kata 10 bilion ringgit diperuntukkan untuk negeri Selangor untuk menangani isu banjir. 10 billion. Did you ever heard any project from the federal government for Selangor? Any of you? Any of you? 10 billion allocated for Selangor state from the federal government. Any project did you heard? Sebab wang kita menjadi negara kita antara yang negeri yang paling banyak tax bayar kita. Tapi apa yang kita bayar, when return back to us, we seeing only empty vessel coming back. Kalau ini berterusan, Ismail Sabri, Lawiyah 2 project, remember Lawiyah 2, bila orang curi telefon dia mau buat Lawiyah 2. Apa jadi kepada Lawiyah 2? Bankrupt. Oh, kita cakap oh bankrupt. Kita lupa bankrupt. Tapi siapa bayar untuk Lawiyah 2? Rakyat punya money. The renovation, the entire supply chain, everything from the rakyat money. Now gone. It may be 600 million or more than billion gone. That is Ismail Sabri. He created a racial issue on the handphone thief. We can't forget that. What about Jaida Midi? Because this is the possible our Prime Minister. What is Jaida Midi? A person with a gangster attitude. Semua orang tahu. Dan masih lagi menunggu dengan berpuluh-puluh kes rasuah. Sampai boleh beritahu, kalau saya kena, esok Nu kena. Mu kena. Boleh cakap begitu terang-terang. Sebab apa? Dia nak takutkan kawan-kawan dia supaya dia dimenangkan. Perasuah pertama sekarang bukan lagi Najib, sebab Najib sudah masuk lokap. Sekarang kita kena after Zahid Hamidi, betul tak? Tapi kita ada satu orang lagi, Mat Hasan. Mat Hasan nombor 2 dalam UMNO. Apa dia cakap? Kalau itu kedai-kedai kopitiam, kalau dia tak sokong, kasih terbangkan dia meja. Gangster way. Are you want to accept Mat Hasan as your Prime Minister? Think about it. Kita ada paling baik ni orang. Adi Awang. Oh, dia cakap, orang bukan Melayu semua perasuah. The country is because corruption because of non-Malay. Is it true statement or not? Is it true statement? I don't know why Gerakan become friend of past now. I don't know why Perikatan Nasional still can survive after we know Perikatan is full of kata. But Gerakan still there. What they saying is, apa yang mereka cakap? Perikatan Nasional menawarkan kerajaan yang bersih. Wow. See, who is saying? Muhyiddin. Who is saying? Azmin Ali. Can you imagine? So kalau Perikatan Nasional penuh dengan kata racist and extremist, Barisan Nasional dengan penuh dengan gangster, corruption, racist. Kita tak payah cakap MCA dan MIC lah, jangan buang masa. Betul? Kita tak payah cakap MIC dan MCA sebab apa? Mereka memang sudah jadi tak ada, no tongue, no food for them. Because they can't even speak. Can't even stand themselves. So MIC and MCA waste of time talking about them. Gerakan now licking boots of past for their political survival. So only chance we left is Pakatan Harapan. Remember kawan-kawan. Remember, kalau kita tak sokong Pakatan Harapan, apa akan jadi? Many people keep saying that, oh, this time around, Chinese and Indian not full, oh, they are not going to come out. What we getting? What benefit we reach? Many people, any kopitiam shop, they keep saying that. Remember, it is not for your pocket. It's for your generation's safetyness. Ingat, anak cucu kita kalau nak hidup dengan maruah dalam negara ini, kita perlu menjatuhkan UMNO sampai kubur. Betul? We have to finish them once and for all. If UMNO we talking, we also must finish PAS. Bersatu. These three most extremist and racist party in the country. Kalau ini parti-parti ini, kalau anda berdiam dekat rumah, anda rasa lebih baik saya pergi main golf hari ini, atau anda rasa lebih baik saya pergi panggung wayang, atau anda rasa lebih baik saya duduk rumah, you are doing detrimental for your own generation, not anybody else. Kalau kita betul-betul sayang, if you really love this country, love your generation, you want your generation live in this country with peaceful but much better Malaysian way, please, let's put together our hands. Let's put it together our hands. Promise ourselves, we will end this barisan regime once and for all on 19. Boleh tak? Boleh tak? Kita, Pakatan. Thank you. Say, come here.
Hello. Thank you very much, Saudara Ganapati Rao Veraman.
非常感谢我们的雪州行政议员Ganapati Rao 同志的支持。
And now we move on to Saudari Yobi Yin.
接下来，让我们以掌声邀请我们的我们前8级里的国会议员 YB 杨美莹不是 YB 啦。好，有请杨美莹。
Thank you. My colleagues Selangor, ladies and gentlemen, good evening everyone. 大家晚上好。Today I'm very glad to be here. I come here with just 2 stories and maybe 1 or 2 messages for all of you, because we have other heavyweight speakers, not by their real weight but by their influence later on. I want to come to you with 2 experiences that I've had when I was a Minister of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change. The first one was about the power, putting the power to the right person. When I was Arjun in Damansara Utama, I remember very well, we started with Impian Sabah, Impian Sarawak project. How many of you have gone to our fundraising dinner? We tell you that, you know, we are going to go and to the rural area, to the most rural area in Sabah and Sarawak, and build water dam for them so that they have running water. To build electricity so that the children can read at night. We tell you that we go and do health camp, and many of you have donated, and we managed to do a lot of projects. Fast forward a few years later, I was in Sarawak. One of the first experience I had was that, wow, people do not have light to read at night. We have children in the most remote part of Malaysia that do not have light to read and to do their homework at night. That they do not have light to finish their homework, not to mention having internet and playing a lot of games. That time when I saw it, my heart really sank. I saddened for these children who do not have equal opportunity as everyone else in the cities. I told myself, I said, if we become a government, we will do so much more for these marginalized communities. Then fast forward, somehow we won the government, somehow I became a minister. But then I was too busy with my work because my work is not related to rural, even to rural electricity is under Rural Development Ministry. That time I was very, very busy with my work. I forgot about what I have my thought when I first visited the place. Until we had Cameron, we come to Cameron by-election. That time I went to Pahang. I went again to the Orang Asli Kampung and I saw the same thing. After the change of government, these Orang Aslis still did not have electricity. And I was the Minister of Energy, although I wasn't in charge of rural development electricity. But I was reminded what I thought when I went to Sarawak. So I told myself that the buck has to stop at me, that I will have to deliver for these people. And then I went back to the ministry. I told them, by hook or by crook, I want these Orang Asli communities to have electricity. 13 Orang Asli Kampung, 300 families. And then, lo and behold, because we also accumulated a lot of fund in the AAIB. Where does the fund come from? The funds come from IPP, Independent Power Producers. In their power purchase agreement, they are supposed to pay the government a certain sum of money every year. But they have not been paying. There is a lot of debt for the past 10 years. Because we go and collect from them. We collect debt from this IPP. We managed to have 250 million. That means we actually can have extra money to pay these 13 Orang Asli communities. Just in 2 months, on my table is a document for me to sign for allocation to power up these 13 Orang Asli Kampung and benefit 300 families just by the one stroke of hand. I remember very well how much work we need to do for fundraising dinner to power up just 100 families. I remember very well how much we do when we were an opposition to raise funds for these communities. But if we are in power, we can do so much more for the people, not only for this Orang Asli Kampung, but for everyone. So the first message I want to tell all of you today is that the DAP and the Pakatan Harapan is in this battle to fight for power to do good for the people. We are not going to tell you we want to deny 2/3 majority. We are not going to tell you that we want a check and balance system. We are here to tell you we want to be a government because the power to do good is with whoever that is in the government. Because we want to do the best we could for the people. As an opposition, we can still do something. But as a government, we can do so much more. The second story I want to tell all of you today is about my experience with independent power producers. We have heard a lot. Tony Pua talked about it since 2008, about how lopsided independent power producers' contracts are. And fast forward, 10 years later, I became energy minister. The first thing that is on my table, what are those things? Are that before, 1 year before the election of 2018, many IPP projects have been directly awarded to different people. Why? Very simple. I explain to you a bit technical, but just 1 minute. Because 30% of your electricity bills come from capacity payment. That comes from how much of a reserve margin we have. What is the reserve margin? Reserve margin is what extra power you have compared to the maximum demand of electricity. That means for a power system to be secured and to deliver to all of you, every time, everywhere, we need a certain reserve margin. But there is an optimal reserve margin. In our power system in Peninsular Malaysia, it's about 25%. But if you actually award more projects, IPP projects for more people, people need to pay more, but you do not know you're actually paying for the capacity payment. Why? Very simple. Because you cannot feel it. It is felt in the basic, in your base tariff. That is why it is simple to give direct award to the people. But because all of you have voted on the 9th of May 2018, and that you sent Pakatan Harapan to Putrajaya, once we see this direct award that is above and beyond what you need, we cancel 6 of them and save your money, save your next generation money, next generation money. 20 years of basic electricity tariff amounted to 12 billion ringgit. But I also want to tell you that we are not immune to lobby. As an energy minister, I am very powerful. A lot of people want to see me. Why they want to see me? Not because I'm pretty. Why they want to see me? They hope after seeing me, I can give them a direct award of IPP. Why? Very simple. Because if you can get IPP project direct award, you have a favorable terms. What you need to do, you then appoint an EPC, engineering, procurement and commissioner partners. For example, General Electric, Siemens, etc. Then you appoint them to build, commission and operate the plant for you. And what you do, you shake leg. And then you collect the difference in between. So any Tom, Dick and Harry can be an IPP if it is a direct award. So a lot of people queue up in my office, want to see me. Very powerful. Many of them, of course, you all voted for the DAP. DAP never disappoint. We reject all of them. But some of them have a lot of high cable. They will say, I know this person. Hey, you must give me the project. They will write again and again to you. They will write to other high cable personnel to send a letter to me, reminding me of awarding the project. They will say, and they will badmouth me, just like they badmouth Tony Pua, that we are anti-business because we don't give them a direct award contract. Because we say, if we need power, we will do open tender. You wait for open tender, then you bid lah. They will say we are anti-business. They badmouth us, they do everything. For 20 months, I was a minister. I had all this experience and pressure. Sometimes I want to punch them in their face. But then I still have to smile to them. You think minister very powerful. Actually, minister also not powerful. I have to say, no, you can do this. No, you can do this. Why not you do this? Tai Chi, Tai Chi, Tai Chi. 20 months I Tai Chi. Sometimes I feel a lot of pressure because a lot of letters sent to me from very high people. A lot of letters, a lot of threats. Sometimes I wake up in the morning. Sometimes, you know lah, I will cry because I'm a very emotional person. I think of my mother and father who have to, when we were growing up, sometimes they do not earn enough that they have to owe to a sundry shop, grocery shop to buy milk for me, to buy daily necessities for me. I think of ordinary Malaysians who have to endure the jam every single morning just to meet ends needs. I think of so many more people who struggle so much for their livelihood. And yet, we have a bunch of cronies believing that they have special privilege to ask direct award from the government, believing that the old system will come back in the Pakatan Harapan government. One of the things I'm proud of in the 20 months as an energy minister is that I stood my ground, that I protect all of the people from these bloodsuckers. Today I want to tell you, not only me. Why? Very simple. In August 2020, after Pakatan Harapan's government fall, we have a new Minister of Finance. This Minister of Finance, in August 2020, he do an expose. Wow, thinking he is very smart. He said, during Pakatan Harapan time, you all also give direct award. You give 101 projects under Pakatan Harapan that is direct award. Then we don't know. We did not know. Ask him to list down. What are these direct award projects? He initially did not want to give us. Eventually, he relented and gave us the list of projects. Then we found out that all these projects are the legacy projects from the Barisan national government. What we did is renegotiation of this direct award so that we renegotiate it down to save people money. I give you an example. It's Klang Valley double track. Later, our SG come, he probably will explain that. Now, double track project that was initially 5.3 billion ringgit. It is listed as the one that we awarded directly. Why? Because we renegotiated with the contractor down 15% to 4.6 billion ringgit. So we have a Minister of Finance that shoot himself at the foot. Eventually, our former Minister of Finance, Lim Guan Eng, has counted from the total value of the 101 projects that our very clever Minister of Finance listed, 99.6% is Barisan National Legacy Projects. That means only 0.4% comes from us, and it is because of emergency cases that we use proper procurement direct award system to get it done. So, my message to all of you is this, is that not only I as a minister did not give direct award, in the whole entire 22 months as Pakatan Harapan government, we did not give direct award projects to anyone. You want project? If we need a project, you do open tender. So ladies and gentlemen, if one day people tell you that a clean governance and clean government is not possible, don't believe in them. Open tender is possible. we must believe that we Malaysians deserve a government that do open tender for the people, so that we can get the best value for money projects to the people. So whatever you pay in your tax is best used by the government, by competent people, to the right cause in nation building. And if there is anything that I want to leave with you tonight, is this. Is that I want all of you to remember this. Is that Malaysians deserve a clean government. And it is possible to be a clean government. Let no one tell us otherwise. Let no one tell us that the only way for us to go moving forward is to go back the old way. No. Let us move forward. Let us move forward, although the future is unknown. But I always believe that if we move forward, if we continue to believe in change, if we continue to demand clean government, demand more competent leaders, demand a more efficient government machineries, we will get it. But that cannot complete in one election. It requires all of us to vote, to donate, to be pacha, to be involved one election after another. This is a long journey of Malaysia nation building. I hope that all of us will be a part of this. You know, we are here in Kelana Jaya, car park. It reminded me of 2013, 4th of May 2013. Why? That time I was a newbie in Damansara Utama. I think Tony was there, Gobin was there, because we have 5th of May, we have a 2013 election. So we have a grand finale here. Four MPs and 8 aduns. We have 50,000 people. Wow, so many people. That time newbies. I see, wow, for sure we changed government in 2013. For sure we changed government. Wow, but next day, 2013, we did not change government. Now, ladies and gentlemen, imagine you are one of the people in the 50,000 people in the stadium. And you decided you are going to give up in this election because in 2013, G13, we cannot change government. Let's just give up. Let's just not do anything. Let's just let Barisan Nasional run the country. Imagine we give up because after all the euphoria, all we get is disappointment. Imagine we give up in 2013. You will never see an historic government change in 2018. Imagine if we gave up in 2013, you would never see the Prime Minister who stole people money eventually went to jail. Imagine that you gave up. Today, everything will be the same. So what I hope is that we will continue to move forward. Yes, it is going to be imperfect. Yes, the politicians that you are voting for, they are imperfect, they have weaknesses. But one thing, let's welcome a round of applause to our new Secretary General, Saudara Anthony Loh. I almost finished. The only thing I want to leave with you is this, is that I hope that we will continue to move forward, that we do not look back to the old system, to the good old day. Let's strive forward And whatever we do, let's continue to move forward. And I would like to end with this quote from Martin Luther King. He said, in the journey, if you can't fly, you run. If you can't run, you walk. If you can't walk, you crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. Thank you.
Yes. Pakatan! Engkau sik meh? Pakatan! Pakatan! Sorry, we invite back Saudari Yobiin.
Sorry, because I was kind of nervous. I see you all so many of you. I forgot to do one thing. Now, as our tradition, we will always collect donation. We will start our usher, will start and give donation box, distribute donation box around. We hope that all of you can be a part of this journey, of us, of building a better Malaysia. Our struggles need a lot of money. Nobody have enough money for this struggle, so we hope that all of us can contribute a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Saudari Yobiin. We would like to welcome our Secretary General, Saudara Anthony Lok.
感谢杨美仪同志的支持。那我们以热烈的掌声欢迎我们秘书长陆兆福同志的出席。
We continue the chant just now, halfway through. Pakatan! 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 Kita! 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 All right. Now, remember vitamin M? Just now they performed for you. All right. So now we're going to invite them back again and ask them to perform for you 2 new songs.
那接下来呢，让我们有请我们行动党的官方乐队就是 Vitamin M， 刚刚有为大家呈现的第一首歌。
So the first song is Merah dan Hijau, and the second song is Malaysia Kita Boleh.
那接下来呢，他们也要为大家带来今天的新歌首播。那接下来的2首歌曲就是《Merah dan Hijau》和《Malaysia Kita Boleh》。
So ladies and gentlemen, we give you Vitamin M.
有请 Vitamin M.
All right. So the next song is Merah Hijau. You guys will also be the first person who will listen to this song. So wish us luck. Okay. Can start again? Sorry, can't hear.
And now, you must be itching to hear what Saudara Tony Poa has to say to you. Correct or not? So we would like to invite Saudara Tony Poa.
有请潘建伟同志上台致辞，掌声有请。
Salam sejahtera, selamat malam, salam harapan. 我们的八达岭在野Damansara同胞们，大家晚上好。A very good evening to the good people of Damansara who have come here tonight in big numbers. We started selling the dinner 2 weeks ago. I think exactly 2 weeks ago, started the first Facebook post up on the website. We said 2 weeks, let's try and see how many tables we can sell. And I'm very, very happy to announce that tonight, in just 2 weeks, we have nearly 200 tables sold for this evening. A big thank you to the people of Damansara and all the supporters out there who have persevered with us, who have stayed the course, and who wants a better Malaysia. Many of you have been with us pretty much every election. In 2008, in 2013, in 2018, and now in 2022. All of you come out for a very simple reason. Because you believe that you must continue to fight. Because you believe that you cannot give up. Because you believe that only by persevering, only by keep going on fighting hard, then we have a chance to win. Then we will not allow the kleptocrats, the crooks, to come back and rule Malaysia. I joined politics in 2007. 2007, that is exactly just a little bit more than 15 years ago. When I first joined politics, my objective was very simple. Give back to society lah, no? Ulangkan budi kepada rakyat. 从政就是为了要回馈社会，社会对我的好，对我的忠，我们要为社会做一点付出。So the only reason to join politics then was to give back to society, to help those who are in need. And my objective was very simple. At that point in time in 2007, the landscape in Malaysia, what was the landscape in Malaysia? You all still remember or not? Who was the Prime Minister in 2007? 那时候谁是首相？2007年。Still remember him? Badawi. Abdullah Badawi. But don't laugh at him. In 2007, Barisan Nasional has the largest majority ever in Parliament in the history of Malaysia. I think we have forgotten that. In 2007, Barisan Nasional controlled more than 90% of the parliamentary seats. More than 90%. DAP only got about, I think, 11 seats, if I'm not wrong, 11. More than 90%. That is as big a political hegemony as you can ask for in any democratic country. So when I joined politics in 2007, it wasn't because I believed that we can form a new government in the next elections. Impossible lah. In 2008 elections, our war cry was, let's deny Barisan National 2/3 majority. Right? You all still remember, some of you? Let's deny Barisan National 2/3 majority. I remember, we will be on stage, SS2 ceramah, shouting, deny 2/3 majority. And then after the ceramah ends, some auntie will come to the stage and ask me, can ah? Susah lah, a bit difficult lah, Ceramah talk big a bit, but when the actual thing comes, realistically a bit challenging. When I joined politics, all I wanted to do was I looked at our past heroes. People like Lim Kit Siang, people like Saudara Kapau Singh, who has fought for Malaysians, who has fought for the minority, who have fought for democracy since the 1960s without fail, fighting hard, trying to build a better Malaysia. They are building a bridge. Now I always imagine that they are building a bridge, but they are struggling. They are laying bricks. I can see the bridge being formed, but we are far from crossing the river to the greener side. And all I wanted to do was to play my part to continue their journey, to lay a few more bricks, so that by the time I finish 10 years, finish 15 years, finish 20 years, I can build a bit longer bridge, and hopefully the next generation will continue and complete the bridge. That's all I have in the head. Because change, like it or not, in Malaysia, in any part of the world, is a multi-generational process. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a year. It happens over a generation. So I joined politics hoping that if I get elected, I'll go into parliament, make some noise, kick some ass, and then shake some leg. Not too difficult lah, go in and make noise only one, Become opposition MP. Do my part, at least I've done something. Mana tahu come March 2008, we actually won in 3 states. We won in Penang. We won in Selangor right here. And we won in Perak. And believe it or not, we succeeded in denying Barisan National 2/3 majority for the first time in history in 2008. Malaysians happy lah. I actually then have to work. Sudah kena kerja. Originally think become opposition member only. But because we became government in 3 states, because of that, many of our party leaders became state leaders, became chief ministers, became state excos, and hence I have to be more actively involved in the party affairs. It became a full-time affair. And then 10 years later, from 2008, just in 10 years, 1 decade only, 10 years, in 2018, we succeeded in creating another history. We succeeded in actually defeating Barisan National, who has ruled Malaysia for more than 60 years, kicking a corrupt government out of Putrajaya. No one believed it was possible. Even Lim Kit Siang himself, he has written it, he has talked about it officially. He said that never did he dream in his lifetime he will see a change of government in Malaysia. But because Malaysians united, because you believed, because you persevered, we made change happen in 2018. And if we could do it in 2018, we can in 20. When we became government, you all know I went to work at the Ministry of Finance. I can tell you honestly, I've never worked that hard in my life. It was probably working harder than my colleagues did this, Yobin did this, for a simple reason. We want to prove to Malaysians, as what she said just now, we can do better. We want to prove to Malaysians that Malaysians deserve a corruption-free government. We want to prove to Malaysians that if we have a government based on competency, Malaysia will flourish, Malaysia will grow, our children will have a better future. And so we worked hard. Despite the fact that we had only 22 months, where many of our promises have yet to be realized, we have done a big deal. I, for one, will not shy away from saying that I am very proud of our time, Pakatan Rakyat's reign in government for 22 months. Because now we can tell the world Malaysia succeeded in sending their corrupt former Prime Minister Najib Razak to jail for 12 years. No one can imagine it possible one. Even not only Najib, you still remember his beautiful wife, Rosmah. You know the 27 million ringgit pink diamond? Still remember the pink diamond or not? Rosmah will be joining her husband soon. She also have been sentenced to 10 years jail. Before 2018, unimaginable. 不可能的，哪里可能我们前朝首相跟他的首相夫人，漂亮的首相夫人会被法庭法官判12年、10年的牢啊！哇，他们可以在牢里面恩恩爱爱啊。When Najib was finally sent to prison, my wife told me, she told the kids, they were having dinner. I was not home at that point in time. She told the kids, if not for 2018, when the people succeeded in changing the government, today the person going to jail will not be Najib but your father. Right or not? If we had not succeeded in 2018, if the people of Malaysia have not come together to overthrow the most corrupt government in the history of Malaysia, Najib Razak will still be Prime Minister today. He will. And he will be more ruthless than ever before 2018. He will make sure all his political opponents are arrested and sent to jail. He will destroy the country's economy because 1 MDB, remember 1 MDB or not? Still remember 1 MDB or not? 1 MDB would have accumulated even more debts than 50 billion ringgit guaranteed by the Malaysian government, guaranteed by the taxpayers' money. Our debts would have rocketed. Our international rankings would have dropped. Malaysia will be in a much worse state than it is today. So that is the single biggest achievement that the people of Malaysia did in 2018. They managed to avert a disaster from happening after 2018 by keeping Najib Razak in power. And by sending Pakatan Harapan into government, while we succeeded in sending Najib to jail, it's not only that. We have done plenty. We have done many policies that are of assistance to the rakyat. For many, you will remember that one of our biggest calling card was that we will abolish GST. We did. We abolished GST. And when we abolish GST, a lot of people tell you that, oh, our international ratings will drop. No, we didn't. We abolished GST. We told all the investment credit analysts our plans, how we will recover the funds, how we will save in terms of open tender, how we will run the government more efficiently. They believe us and they maintained the credit rating for Malaysia. Not only GST we abolished, we discovered that Najib has been playing tricks with cash flow, with GST cash flow. So for many of you businessmen out there, you would remember that the government, customs, owed you a lot of GST refunds. Many months, some many years, also never pay back to you. Take a long time. But when we went in and discovered that 19 plus billion ringgit was outstanding to Malaysian businessmen, choking them of vital cash flow, despite the difficulties we face in our finances, we succeeded in returning pretty much all of the GST refunds to the businesses in Malaysia. Toll. All of you use the North-South Expressway. All of you would have realized, I hope lah, when you take your touch and go, sometimes you don't look at your touch and go. You are enjoying 18% discount compared to the times of Najib Razak. 18%. Now this 18% is different from Barisan Nasional or Ismail Sabri's toll discount. Barisan Nasionals or Ismail Sabri's toll discount means you reduce toll, I extend the concession by another 10-20 years. So that they get to collect toll for another 10-20 years. So I can give a bit of discount now. That's how they give discount. Not us. When we reduce the toll concession discount, we restructured the agreement such that the toll concession is not extended. Or, in Najib's time, if they give discount, they pay back to the concessionaire using taxpayers' money. So, basically, coming back to the taxpayers. But no, under Pakatan Harapan, when we reduce the toll rate, not a single cent of compensation is paid by the government of Malaysia to the concessionaires. The savings by the people of Malaysia, the commuters and the taxpayers over the concession period will amount to 42 billion ringgit. That is more money in the pockets of ordinary Malaysians. If not for the fact that our reign was truncated, if not for the fact that we were betrayed by traitors to the cause, we would also have completed the restructuring of the Gamuda tolls. That means the LDP here, the one right in front here, Kesas, Shah Alam, Kesas is Shah Alam Expressway. Yeah, Shah Alam Expressway, Smart Tunnel, as well as Sprint. That would also have resulted in lower toll perpetually for ordinary Malaysians. We have raised funds, 2 billion ringgit, My Salam insurance for the poor who suffer from critical illness, 8,000 ringgit payout, 2 billion ringgit. But the entire 2 billion ringgit fund comes from the private sector, not a single cent from the government. We have produced many other welfare policies to assist the people, some of which Bean has mentioned just now, in terms of electricity rebates and other infrastructure jobs. And all of this are done in a very short 22 months. Not forgetting, of course, the topic that I always talk about, I won't talk at length this time round, the amount of savings we did by renegotiating some of the crony Barisan National super mega fat contracts given during the Najib era. One of the small ones being talked about, Daya Maju, the double tracking project in Klang Valley double tracking project. But the big ones, LRT3, MRT2, ECRL, East Coast Rail Link, all these 3 projects, we saved the rakyat nearly 45 billion ringgit. 45 billion ringgit. That is 1 year's development expenditure for the entire Malaysia. And none of these savings, none of these cuts that were carried out for these projects, not a single cent came into Tony Pua's pocket. Not a single cent went into Lim Guan Eng, Minister of Finance pocket. Not a single cent went into Yeo Bee Yin or Anthony Loke or Gobind Singh's pocket. All stupid people. Become government, don't know how to enrich yourself. But that's the type of government we want. And we believe that if we are returned to power, if we are given a longer period of time, we can save more for the people and the results will become visible. Malaysia will become a stronger economy. Our children, I repeat, our children will have a better future in Malaysia. But change is not easy. Change is not easy, and I'm sure you have heard a lot of murmurings out there. People who are not happy with Pakatan Harapan. Got right? Sure. Change also no use and no difference. Like what Bean said just now. Not business friendly. Last time I go to BN, they give me IPP. So easy. I scratch your back, you scratch my back, I get fat contract. Very business friendly. Pakatan Harapan, not business friendly. I'll give you a real story. My counselor can testify this is real because he was with me during the lunch meeting. I was having a lunch conversation, lunch meeting with the son of a tycoon, a local tycoon. And he actually, to be fair, very frank. He told me, we all supported you in 2018. We're all happy that you all changed government in 2018. But when you all become government, you all don't know how to make friends. You all forget us. You make it so difficult for us. When we present proposals to you, you either say, tak boleh jalan, like what Bean said, tak boleh jalan, or you say, must open tender. How can? He asked me, this is his actual question. You do all these fundraising dinners. This time the 200 table fundraising dinner. You all do all these fundraising dinners. How much you sell a table? 900 ringgit. The most expensive table, 5,000 ringgit, a few tables lah. How much can you raise? You must learn to make friends with people like us. This dinner table fundraising thing is not sustainable. So much work. A lot of work. So much work, you know. And how much you raise? 6 digits got or not? Tonight maybe got lah. You deal with people like us, we don't talk about 6 digits, we talk about 7 digits, 8 digits. He really talk like that to me, you know. 7 digits, 8 digits. Now the UMNO people already calling me. Elections coming. Our side already preparing the money for them. If you have made friends with us, you have stayed in power for a long, long time. This is what he told me. And only to be expected, this fundraising dinner, I didn't receive a single cent from him. But these are the people out there. These are the real tycoons, businessmen out there who cannot wait for Barisan Nasional to return to power. These are the people who are used to the old ways of enriching themselves by scratching the politicians' back. He even tell me, if you don't know how to set up your account overseas, we can help you. We can help you. You don't know, man? Do we want our country to be ruled again by UMNO and these tycoon businessmen out there? They are the ones who are spreading the message that Pakatan useless, no good for business, not healthy. And we do not want that. We do not want that because these people do not care if the real hard-working Malaysian companies, the real competitive companies in Malaysia who can do a better job at a lower price, they don't care if they cannot survive in Malaysia. They just want to make sure that they can continue to get large, fat, crony contracts from the Barisan Nasional government and enrich themselves. They don't care if Malaysia grows in terms of debt to a big, big scale, so much so that we collapse like Sri Lanka. They don't care because they would think my money is already parked overseas. If Malaysia collapses, I migrate to another country. They have no feelings for the ordinary people in Malaysia. And that is why we must come together to fight the crony political axis, crony politics axis in Malaysia. I dare not imagine what will happen if UMNO wins tomorrow. Barisan Nasional wins tomorrow, and who will become the Prime Minister? Who will become the Prime Minister? Everyone knows it will be Zahid Hamidi. Who believe that Ismail Sabri will become the next Prime Minister if BN wins? Who win? Who believe? No one believe. Ismail Sabri also don't believe. Ismail Sabri also don't believe that he will become Prime Minister if Barisan Nasional win. Guarantee the next Prime Minister of Malaysia, if Barisan Nasional win the general elections, it will be Zahid Hamidi. Can you imagine what will happen to Malaysia if Zahid Hamidi becomes the next Prime Minister of Malaysia? If you think Najib Razak was bad for Malaysia, if you think Najib Razak became the biggest autocrat in the entire world, you have not met Zahid Hamidi. So I call upon all Malaysians, I call upon all naysayers out there. We must work hard in these elections, extra doubly hard, in order to protect all the gains that we have made over the past decade. I've already talked about all the gains since 2008, all the good things that has happened for Malaysia. We need to protect all those gains. We need to prevent Zahid Hamidi from becoming the next Prime Minister of Malaysia. As they say, as the saying goes, prevention is better . And by the time the next generation election, GE16 happens next, I don't know what else is left to save for Malaysia. I don't know how much work we have to do then in GE16 to defeat Zahid once again. So we must stop him while we can in these elections and prevent another reoccurrence of Malaysia becoming a globally renowned kleptocracy. Can we do that or not? Can we do that or not? We must do that because I dare not imagine the consequences if we don't. Friends, supporters, ladies and gentlemen, for the last 15 years, I've dedicated my life wholeheartedly to playing the role as your MP, your Member of Parliament, previously in Petaling Jaya Utara, currently in Damansara, both in the opposition and in government. I don't think anyone out there will dispute my contributions to the party and to the cause. Unfortunately, this chapter for me will now come to an inevitable end. Some of you might know, and a very few of those would know, as far back as 4 or 5 years ago, I have always intended that the current term in Parliament be my final term as an elected representative. So tonight, it pains me to officially announce that I will not be contesting in the upcoming general election. Saudara Anthony Loke, Saudara Gobind Singh, and many other leaders have done their part to try to persuade me to continue. But it is my decision and my decision alone, made many years ago, to step down from the electoral front line. However, this has nothing to do with the fact, as you can hear from my speech, that I still believe in the cause, that I still believe in change, and most importantly, Malaysia can do it. Malaysia kita boleh. I will not be disappearing into the horizon and sail far, far away into the sunset. I am well aware of my strengths and my weaknesses, and I will utilize my strengths to continue to help the party achieve our goals. For these elections, I am fully involved in the party's publicity machinery to propagate messages to Malaysians out there to support the cause of change. And of course, like tonight, the fundraising campaigns to raise bullets for the party to fight the other side. Going forward, I'm more than happy to contribute in policy formulation, organization, and execution. And when we win government, you can be assured that I will be in the thick of it again, just like in 2018, with our DAP ministers to help execute the best policies to strengthen our economy and to help ordinary Malaysians. In every football team, there are strikers, there are wingers, there are midfielders and defenders. I'm not quitting the team. I believe in the team and certainly believe that we can win. I'm just reassigning myself to play a different role, different position that best utilizes my strengths. You can be assured that when called upon to play, Tony Phua will give his everything. I would like to take the opportunity to specially thank the former Secretary General for DAP, Saudara Lim Guan Eng, for giving me the opportunity to contest and to serve the people of Malaysia as an MP. Credit must be given to Saudara Guan Eng for giving room for professionals and new blood to contest. It is what Malaysians want. It is what Malaysians need. And it is what DAP must do, needs to do, to continue to stay relevant and supported by Malaysians in future elections. We must not be trapped in our own little bubble. We also know that Damansara is a very special seat. The name Damansara itself strikes fear in the hearts of those who are corrupt, those who are in UMNO and Barisan Nasional. Therefore, let me end here by hinting that the next DAP candidate for Damansara is no less fearless than Tony Phua. No less of a lion heart, and definitely no less of a slouch. He or she will make Damansara proud, and we can look forward to our Secretary General, Saudara Anthony Loke, announcing the candidates in a few minutes' time. Utterly over the past 15 years in my decade and a half journey. You have given me incredible majorities. Nearly 15,000 votes in 2008 against Chu Mei Fan. Nearly 45,000 votes in 2013. And finally, an incredible record-breaking 106,903 votes majority in 2018. As much as I would like to keep this majority record sticking around a lot longer in the history books, I hope that the next candidate for Damansara will beat this record with all of your support. You have encouraged and motivated me to continue fighting even in the darkest of times. Without you, there is no Tony Phua. Thank you so very, very much. I hope I have made all of you proud as your member of parliament. Thank you so much. I love you all. Thank you.
Saudara Tony Phua, we will keep you on stage for just a little while more.
请潘杰伟同志留步。
And we would like to invite DAP PJ to give you a small token of appreciation.
DAP PJ 将会赠送鲜花与潘杰伟同志，感谢他这么多年的贡献与付出。
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give him a standing ovation? Thank you very much, Saudara Tony Phua, for all the hard work, the immense amount of time that he has put in this country to make this country a better Malaysia.
感谢潘杰伟同志这么多年来为我们的马来西亚、为我们的白沙螺区的贡献和付出，他的贡献和付出是大家有目共睹的。
I'll make a final announcement. The donation collection. Before the dinner, online donations for those who couldn't come, who supported, we collected 51,472 ringgit. And then we have our floor donation just now at the dinner. We collected 56,817 ringgit. In total, in just donations alone, we collected 108,289 ringgit. Thank you very much, people of Damansara.
Ladies and gentlemen, Saudara Tony Phua.
让我们以掌声感谢潘杰伟同志。
Thank you very much for your kind donations. We really cannot thank you enough.
感谢大家的热心捐款，使到我们今天的晚宴可以顺利的举行。
Now, before I call on the next speaker, I have a small announcement to make. The car owner of BPG 1592, BPG 1592, a blue Myvi, please move your car because you are blocking someone who can't move right now.
然后在这里做一个小小的报告，就是有车主 BPG 1592 车主，麻烦你移开你的车。
And now we would like to invite our Secretary General of DAP, Saudara Anthony Lok.
接下来，让我们以最热烈的掌声欢迎我们行动党的秘书长陆兆福同志致辞，有请。
Salam sejahtera. Salam sejahtera, salam harapan kepada tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, saudara-saudari yang saya hormati. Very good evening to the great people of Selangor, the people of Damansara. 各位 Damansara 的同胞们，大家晚间好。Saudara-saudari, Wanakkam. First of all, on behalf of the party, I would like to pay tribute and record our sincerest appreciation to the great Tony Phua. As he has just mentioned and announced that he has made the decision not to contest in this upcoming general election. He has mentioned to me many months ago about his intention, about his wish not to continue contesting, but definitely will continue to play a role in the party. I can assure everyone that we have made every effort, myself, Gobin, Guaning, to try to convince him to stay back, to continue the struggle. But Tony Phua being Tony Phua, not many people can change his mind the moment he make a decision and he stick to it. The consistency of his decision is something that a bit hard for us to change his mind. And I can assure you that it is not due to the CEC election result. Even though Tony is not in the current leadership, if he is willing to stand again in Damansara, I will do whatever I can. I can face whatever internal pressure to make sure he continues to be the candidate of Damansara. But I failed to convince him to change his mind. Because he said after 15 years, he's a bit tired. He wants to play a role behind the scene, and he wants to spend more time in the golf course. He's a very good golfer. Someone told me he wants to become a professional golfer. But I just want to record our appreciation to him. And Tony is one of the most hardworking MPs in the Malaysian Parliament. Since his election in 2008, he has never stopped working. Every day and night during Parliament session or off Parliament session, he spent a lot of time and energy doing research on various subjects, coming out with a lot of media statements, parliamentary speeches, exposing scandals, exposing the mismanagement of the government of the day then. And most important of all, he is instrumental and a man who exposed one MDB and brought down Najib Tun Razak. This is something that all of us here can be proud of Tony Phua, isn't it? And he has contributed tremendously to the party. Over the years, he has spent a lot of time grooming the next generation of leaders in the party. And he has brought in and groomed many young leaders, such as Yo Bin, Lim Yi Wei, our current Adun, Rajiv, Alia, and many others, not only in PJ, but throughout Selangor and even other states in the whole country. He is one of the very few DAP leaders who will do extra to help the party and our comrades, especially in Sabah and Sarawak, when we face a very, very challenging election after 2013. After we did not make it to the federal government in 2013, he embarked on a project Impian Sarawak and Impian Sabah to help our comrades in Sabah and Sarawak to reach out to the rural areas. And he personally went on the way doing fundraising and went to the interior of Sabah and Sarawak to execute community projects. And this is Tony Phua for you. A selfless leader. A politician who put everything, to put the party's interest, the people's interest above everything else. And of course, I, as the Secretary General, very sad of not having him in my overall team to face the election. But then again, in politics, we always believe that we must continue to move on. We must continue to march forward. And you have a leader who are prepared to give way to the young leaders, to more opportunities to other people, grooming other people. This is something that we should feel proud of. And over the years, we worked very well together. In 2008, I remember that many of us are first-timer in the parliament. Myself, Gobin, Tony Pua, Liu Chin Tong, Teo Ni Ching, all of us were in our early 30s. I was 31. Tony Pua was probably 35 then, 36 then. Full of black hair. Right now, look at his hair. Look at my hair. Look at Gobin's hair. No more hair. The last 14 to 15 years, I think our batch of MPs and leaders have given our best for the party and for the people. And I dare say that we did not disappoint the people. We work hard, we struggle, we fight on, we won the government. After 22 months, we lost it. We became ministers. We were kicked out. But we stay on and soldier on. This is the spirit of the DAP. This is a strength that all of you given us. And we will continue to soldier on. Whatever it comes. Whatever challenges we might face. Whatever problems that we might face. We have to face on. And we have to continue. So Tony has made his decision. We have tried our level best. But still, I respect his personal decision. But I have told him that the moment we take over the federal government, he will play a role in a new government. Not as frontline, not as ministers, not as deputy ministers, but of course, there are a lot of work needs to be done behind the scene, especially on policies formulation. Many other works that we need to execute. We need people like him who are competent, who know the stuff, who know how to draft policies, and so forth. And I will never let him go. We will never let him have free time at home, even though you deserve a bit. To Mrs. Pua, where is Mrs. Pua? Okay, over there. I can assure you that Tony will spend more time to have dinners with you. But I'm sure that there are a lot of work that we need to do, not only in the coming few weeks leading up to the general election, but I am very, very confident that Malaysians want change, and Pakatan Harapan will once again rise to the occasion, and we will take over the federal government. And all of us have a role to play, be it frontline or at the back end. And Tony is no doubt is a heavyweight MP, someone who can bring down a prime minister. And definitely, the party has decided that whoever replaces him must be equally heavyweight. And I can assure you, the person who will replace Tony Pua will definitely heavier than Tony Pua. Not only in terms of his political stature, but also in terms of his body size. May I introduce to you our candidate, the DAP candidate, the Pakatan Harapan candidate for Damansara. 我们 Damansara 行动党的候选人 calon Pakatan Harapan untuk Parlimen Damansara, Saudara Gopin Singh. May I invite Gopin Singh on stage? Gopin Singh. I am sure Gopin will continue the work of Tony. And we want Gopin not only as the MP for Damansara, but we want Gopin back as cabinet minister. Can we do it? Can you stay here at the stage, please? Gopin Singh was the MP for Puchong. And now we are moving him to Damansara. That means that there is a vacancy in Puchong. So this is my headache. To replace Tony Pua is already hard. To replace Gopin, even harder. How do we do that? We look around. We have heard many feedbacks. We have consulted our members. And we feel that one person or one candidate whom we think that suitable to replace Gopin in Puchong. And we need her back in Selangor. May I introduce to you the candidate, the DAP and Pakatan Harapan candidate for Puchong. 我们蒲种区行动党的候选人 calon kita untuk Parlimen Puchong, Saudari Yo Bi Yin, Yang Mei Yin 同志。Okay. I'm sure many people in Selangor miss her, right? Of course, tomorrow I have to answer to the people of Bakri. Being the section of DAP is not easy. A lot of headache, especially before election. We have altogether 4 candidates in Selangor. We have announced 2. The third one is because due to a vacancy as well, our Dr. Ong Kim Ming has also made a decision not to contest in this coming election, and therefore we have a vacancy in Bangi. Bangi, we are introducing a new face. I believe that the DAP must continue our goal, our mission to make DAP a truly multiracial party. We want to be a Malaysian party. Of course, we are thankful for the support from the Chinese community, from the Indian community. Without the Chinese support, without the Indian support, there will be no DAP today. But for the DAP to go even further, we must be a Malaysian party and we must not only depend on the support of the Chinese and Indians, which we appreciate, and we will continue to fight to get the support of the Chinese and Indian, but we also must get the support of the Malay community to make DAP a truly multiracial party, to make DAP a truly Malaysian party. And under my charge, I will continue to pursue this. I will do everything I can to make sure that the DAP is the choice of all Malaysians. Therefore, in Bagi, we are nominating a Malay candidate, a young candidate, 39 years old, a promising lawyer, an activist of the Bar Council for many years. May I introduce to you our candidate for Bagi, calon kita untuk Parlimen Bagi. 我们行动党的候选人在Bagi国会 Saudara Sharezan Johan. Okay. On stage, we have a Malay, we have a Chinese, we have a Singh. We need an Indian. Of course, Gobind Singh is also representing the Indian community. Of course, we know there are a lot of feedbacks from many people, from many quarters on our candidature for Klang. It is a tough decision, but sometimes we have to make tough decisions. And for Klang, the party has decided to fill our current EXCO member for Selangor, Saudara Ganaripati Rao. And I just want to stress that we appreciate the contributions of all our leaders. Everyone has a role to play. May I invite Saudara Tori Pua to come up. And Saudara Ng Zihan, our state leader, state EXCO member, to come up. And I want to stress that DAP is one united team. We will go into this election with one heart, with one mission. That is to defeat Barisan Nasional and Perikatan Nasional. We are going to form the next federal government together with Pakatan Harapan. That is our mission. And I call upon all of you to support us, to make sure that we reach Putrajaya on the 19th of November. Can we? Kita! 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 Pakatan! 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 Thank you very much. Terima kasih. Nandri wadakam. Sese kawai.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have the candidates for Selangor.
让我们以最热烈的掌声欢迎我们的候选人
Pakatan! 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 Kita! 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 Lawan tetap! Lawan sampai menang!
May the next MP for Damansara, Gobind Singh, to deliver his speech. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada saudara dan saudari pengurusi majlis, DAP Secretary General Saudara Anthony Loke, the former MP for Damansara Saudara Tony Pua, Saudari Yobin, Saudara Eng Zihan, Saudara Shah, Saudara Gana, State Assemblymen who are here today, Iwe, Saudara Rajiv, and Saudari Alia. And to all my friends who are here tonight, apa khabar semua? Ni hao ma? Wanakam, Ibrahim Kinga. To all my friends who celebrated Deepavali last week, Deepavali in Anvatakal, I come here for two reasons today. The first is to record my appreciation to Saudara Tony Pua. Saudara Tony Pua is an unusual politician. He was the one that began the entire wave that we hear of in 1MDB, which subsequently led to the fall of the Barisan National Government. We must place on record our appreciation for his hard work, his stellar work in exposing not what is just a Malaysian scandal, but a scandal that is now known throughout the globe, throughout the world. And we must learn from Saudara Tony Pua that you need to persevere. Earlier on, after 2008, when he first exposed the 1MDB scandal, I remember police reports were lodged against him. Apabila Saudara Tony Pua membongkarkan isu berkenaan dengan 1MDB, laporan polis dibuat terhadap beliau. Beliau ditahan dan diminta ke balai polis untuk memberi keterangan. He was asked to go to the balai polis. Statements were taken. Selain daripada itu, beliau juga disaman. So in addition to police reports being lodged, him being asked to go to the police station for statements to be taken, he was also sued. And I know because I acted for him in those suits. Now it is not easy to withstand that kind of pressure. Bukan senang saya nak sebut di sini apabila seseorang itu menghadapi tekanan sedemikian rupa. For a person, a politician who is vocal, who presses those buttons which result in action against him, Tony Pua was a man who took it in his stride. There were many times that I asked him whether he's okay and what he planned to do after the police reports were lodged and of course the civil suits filed against him. But he told me he will carry on, and he said that he had the support of the people, and I think that is very true. He had great support from all of you, correct? And I think you can see that recorded here today. Now despite that, despite the pressure for him to break and to stop his expose on 1MDB, he carried on. And of course, in 2018, we managed to get to the bottom of it because all of you made that brave decision. Tuan-tuan dan puan, kita boleh bincang berkenaan dengan kerajaan baru. Kita boleh ada pandangan berkenaan dengan perubahan. We can all speak about new governments. We can all talk about our plans in the event there's a new government. But a new government is not possible if you don't have the support of the people. And it is the support of the people that started the change in 2008. 2008, And I say this everywhere I go, because I think we need to remind ourselves. In 2008, if we told people we wanted to take over even the state governments, people wouldn't believe us. People will say it's not possible. How can you take over? How many years since independence, nobody has succeeded? You really think you can do it? But we see how it is. Leaders of the past, not only they go through pressure in the form of police reports, even ISA detentions. Despite that, they still persevere, fight, carry on, because they want to build a better Malaysia for all of us. And this is where in 2008, all of us, Malaysians, we recognize the need for us to stand up and to fight against Barisan Nasional, to stop the corruption in this country, stop the abuse of power, and to make sure we build a Malaysia that is better for all of us in the years to come. In 2008, it is that which led to us in Pakatan Rakyat at that time winning 5 states. Now Penang and of course Selangor have been Pakatan governments ever since. And I think what is important is for us to recognize the fact that in those states, those governments have done much better than the federal government or the governments previous to them. So we have scenarios whereby people come and say to us that in the event there is a federal government that changes, or a state government that changes, and this is what they always come and tell you, hey, don't change government. If everything is stable, don't change. And sometimes you tend to believe it. Right? You ask yourself, if there's a change and something happens, what do you do? But this is where 2018 is important. After 2 terms of managing 2 states, the Pakatan government did a lot better than Barisan Nasional. In 2018, it came to a boil. In 2018, we managed to win federal power. And when you win federal power, the whole country is depending on you. All those people that have supported you, they are depending on you to make those changes that you said you will make before you won power. Tony Poa spoke just now candidly about how it is people ask us, in the 22 months, what have you done? This is a very, very true question that is always posed to us. Number one, I think all of us here must recognize that when you are in government, it's not for 22 months only. It is supposed to be for 60 months. Now because of that, of course, we could not complete what it is we wanted to do. 22 months, government cut short. And it is because of that we couldn't complete what we needed to do. But in that period of time, we did a lot. Bein just now spoke about how she dealt with people in her ministry. Lok, being the Minister of Transport, he did his part too. In my ministry, when we first became government, there was a discussion. There was a discussion between me and the Prime Minister about how it is we can make sure that we empower Malaysians so that they can reach out to the world. They can keep and compete with the rest of the world when it comes to business, when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to what is necessary for us to take ourselves further. This is the reason why I told the Prime Minister we need to step up on our digitalization efforts. We need to understand that in order for us to empower each and every Malaysian, we must make sure that they are connected. Each and every one of you here, you have a handphone, and these are smartphones. Today you sit here at a dinner and you can do a business deal with friends of yours in the United States as we speak now. That is the power of technology. And in order for us to do that, we must make sure that there is connectivity. That's the reason why when we became government in my ministry, one of the first things we did was to make sure that we reduce the prices of internet and of course increase the speeds of internet. This was just one example of a difficult task. Karena masa itu bila saya cadangkan kita nak turunkan harga internet, there was fierce opposition by the telcos. Because they thought if you reduce the prices, then you're reducing their profits. But that was not the case. If you reduce prices, you increase your market. And when you increase your market, your profits increase. This is quite simple to understand. Despite the fact that there were many obstacles, obstruction, we managed to get it through. And we did it for the first time, where we were able to get the telcos to reduce prices of internet and increase their speeds. This is just one example of what it takes if you are in government and you have a plan of how it is you're going to develop your country. It can be done. Tetapi kalau kita nak buat semua dalam 22 bulan, tidak boleh. Mana boleh? Orang tanya, kita nak bina rumah 60 bulan. Kalau selepas 20 bulan kita tanya kontraktor, mana rumah saya? The contractor will say to you, hey, I got 60 months to build your house. 20 months you ask me, where's the house? The house is not there. So what do we need to do now? We need to ask ourselves, bila kita jadi kerajaan, when we were in government, yes, we didn't do everything that we were supposed to do. But we did a lot. That is enough for all of you here to gauge how we perform and to believe that if we are in government again, we can and we will do all it is that we need to do in order to make this country a better place. Tony Poa talked about tolls. In Puchong, of course, there are tolls all over the place. Even here, as we drive along, we all know how it is we stop at tolls. Years we've been asking about tolls. What does the BN government say? Tidak boleh diturunkan harga tol. Tidak boleh dimansuhkan tol. No effort made. In fact, I remember there was a video done by Najib Tun Razak about toll. And he himself was saying, hari-hari kita ada tol macam mana. But what is the solution? No solution. Harapan government, in 22 months, we reduced toll on plus by 17%, 18%. In addition to that, we were in the process of getting the other concessions reviewed. This shows you that we worked. After given the mandate, after all of you all voted for us, we went into the ministries and worked. And we delivered. If we had 5 years, I am quite certain that today we would have resolved the toll problem that you see, not just here, but in all of Malaysia. These are problems that the people face. You now have another government. After 22 months, we became the opposition. You have got Perikatan Nasional and now Barisan Nasional again. We don't hear about any reductions. I read that there will be reductions, but what are the plans? So this is where you must ask yourself, is it not true that we in Harapan can make the difference? Tony Poa spoke about contracts that they reviewed. I can tell you, I was in cabinet and I remember the finance minister coming and briefing cabinet on what it is he was doing. A lot of work was done. Billions saved. That is just 22 months. In addition to that, I think the most important thing, in our 20 months in government, we managed to bring down the index of corruption in Malaysia. We were able to tell the whole world that we are a new government, a government that is clean, and a government that will do right by its people. In addition to that, we promised the people that if we came into power, we will make sure that investigations were commenced into the 1MDB scandal. There are two parts to the 1MDB scandal. One, investigations, those who did wrong, and whether action should be taken to punish them. The second part is that we needed to recover the monies that we lost because of these 1MDB transactions globally. Even that Pakatan Harapan did. We traced where the monies were. And when we traced where the monies were, we made efforts, took steps to get those monies back. All of us here still remember, you all saw the big ship that was exposed by Tony Poa, the Equanimity. We brought it back. Eventually sold it. Then subsequently there was action taken. I want to ask all of you all here, if we didn't change government in 2018, do you think action would have been taken against Najib? Do you think action would have been taken against Zahid? Do you think action would have been taken against Rosma? Of course not. Today we see the Prime Minister talking about a book that was written by Tommy Thomas. And in that book, of course, they say a task force was set up and identified various areas of concern. Our position is this: if there is wrong done, investigate it. And if there is an offense, take action. We have no problem with that. Tommy Thomas was an independent person. He was Attorney General. But I want to ask this question, and this Tun Mahathir has asked, what about the previous Attorney General and his chambers? For months and years, we exposed what was going on. Not only did they not take action, they also came with a chart to convince us that what we were saying was not true. All of us remember that press conference. And I remember in that press conference, Tony Pua, he was looking at the chart that was shown by Apandi. And when he looked at the chart, he was able to see something. And from there, again, he picked up something else and started another fight with them. But the question is, what about them? Kenapa tidak ada tindakan yang diambil? And of course, that is on part of the AG and that's part of prosecution. Who was the government all this while when we had the 1MDB scandal? It was Barisan Nasional. And Barisan Nasional, you have MIC, MCA. The same ministers that were sitting in the cabinet at that time, when we raised it, we exposed it, we demanded action to be taken. What did they do? They did nothing. They kept quiet. They just watched as those people who were involved kept on doing what they did, kept on taking money away from the country, kept on making losses for us. Now those people are today back in government. We must ask Wika Siong, what did MCA do about it? We must ask Saravanan, what did MIC do about it? Gerakan and PPP all no need to ask, even they now in different government, different PN and all that. But we as Malaysians, we have a right to ask them, demand that they explain, how is it all this went by without a word from them? And today they sit in government and they are proud. They say that action has been taken. So I ask you just now, if 2018 we didn't make a change, all of you all said action wouldn't have been taken against Najib. I'll put it the other way around now. If this BN wins the next elections, what do you think will happen to all those cases? What do you think will happen to those cases? It is something that all Malaysians can see. We want to ask this question: why do you need to hold an election now? During the monsoon season, when we have floods. Last year, in December, beginning of December, the rain, I as MP of Puchong, in my area, floods up till 10 feet. 10 kaki tinggi air area. When you have a flood that goes up to 10 feet, people's houses are destroyed. The valuables they have are destroyed. They don't have a place to stay. Sometimes they don't even have clothes to wear. And this goes on for weeks. This is why we in Pakatan said this is not the right time to hold an election. But why are we having an election now? You all know the answer to that. Because there are court cases that are pending, correct? Now this is what we have to ask ourselves. We are forced into an election. And in this election, we all can see an election call for only one purpose. But I think as Malaysians, after 2008, after 2013, and especially 2018, it is now time for all of us to rise again and to make sure we send a strong signal to Barisan Nasional that we will not have it again. We Malaysians will stand up in this election, come out in numbers and vote and make sure that we return a Pakatan Harapan government to Putrajaya. Correct? And this is something that we can do. And we have shown when we do it better than them. When it happens, there is no instability in government. When it happens, the governments perform. So now it is a question of us here. This election is important and all of us have a role to play. I ask all of you here, we must make sure we tell and emphasize to all our friends some people feel that they do not want to come out and vote. And of course, a lot of them feel there is no need to vote because if you vote, after you vote, who you vote for, he will jump. They say, ini orang kata oh. Kalau saya undi sama dia, sudah undi ya, 3 hari, 4 hari dia lompat oh. And this is a major problem. Ini masalah besar. Ini sebab, this is the reason why we in Pakatan Harapan, we signed an MOU and we have now introduced in Parliament a bill that stops party hopping. This was a difficult bill to pass. Bukan senang kita nak luluskan undang-undang ini. Tetapi kita luluskan kerana ianya penting untuk masa depan kita. So I think all of you now can tell your friends, you please come out and vote because after you vote for a certain person from a certain party, that person cannot jump because the law forbids him from doing that. And if he jumps, there will be a by-election and the people decide again what they want to do with his feet. This is important. This is why it is we need to have a government that functions in Putrajaya. After our 22 months, we have seen 2 other prime ministers. 2 governments collapse literally. Instability, every day infighting between PN and BN. I think the time has come for all of us to say enough is enough. We want to return mandate to Harapan. Give them 5 years and let's see what they can do. And if they do well, we will keep them there for much longer. Correct? So it must start here and it must start now. All of us as Malaysians, we have a responsibility to our country. The future of this country belongs to us. It is our role to make sure, our duty to make sure that we fight for a better Malaysia, not just for us, but for the generations to come. I hope all of you here will turn up in numbers to give us the support we need. Vote for Pakatan Harapan. Make sure we win in the next elections. Can or not? Kita. Then let us make it happen on the 19th of November. Terima kasih. Saya Seniman Nomenandri Wanakam.
Ladies and gentlemen, your candidate for Damansara, Saudara Gobind Singh.
我们白沙柔县的候选人 Gobind Singh 同志。
And ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the night. Thank you very much once again for spending your valuable time here and also for all the donations that you have given to us throughout the 2 weeks and also tonight.
今天我们的晚宴也在这里进入尾声了，非常感谢大家的出席，还有感谢大家热烈的捐款。
We know you have already given us your time and your money, but now we would also like to ask for you to be our Pacha, polling agent, accounting agent. If you would like to be Pachas, there is a counter, a booth right in front at the entrance where you can go and register. Don't worry if you do not know how to be a accounting agent or a polling agent, we will provide training sessions.
那在这里呢，我们也是还是要提醒大家，如果谁想成为我们在投票日当天的我们的投票监督员的话呢，可以在我们的入口处可以询问详情合作报名。
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we bid you good night. Travel safe, drive safe, and we will see you soon on the 19th of November on the election day. And also before I end the night, there is the merchandise table right in front there. Please get your merchandises from there.
那祝大家今天有个美好的夜晚，感谢大家出席，我们下一次再见。然后呢，如果大家有兴趣，也是可以在我们的入口处有一个小贩卖部我们那边有售卖一些书籍，还有我们的 T-shirt。
So I am Nalina signing out. Salam Harapan. Good night.
我是 Vivian， 你们今天的主持人，祝大家晚安。